Hey guys, welcome to HCU, which is Herbalife Coach University, class number 2. So hopefully you guys got all your homework done for last week. We were talking about being a diligent student here. And basically you guys are going to have 4 weeks, right? And 4 weeks worth of homework. So with that, you don't want it to all pile up. It's pretty minimal if you'll get your homework done on a weekly basis. So last week, our homework was, number 1, to package our product story, okay, a 30-second package product story so that it is, it shows contrast, it's compelling, and it has a call to action. And you guys had a few other homework ideas here. Let me pull up and see what the other homework was. Oh, your circle of influence, doing your 3 wellness evaluations. So let's check in and see if anyone would like to share their 30-second package product story. So you guys will actually have to unmute yourself. We have 88 participants, so the first come, first serve, the most brave. Whoever wants to share, unmute. It's your turn to share. And if you don't, I'm just going to scroll through, unmute somebody randomly, and have you share.
Hey, Tina.
Yes?
It's John.
Okay, John, go for it. 30 seconds. Wait.
Hey, guys, I got started in Herbalife.
Wait.
Oh.
I'm going to set my timer.
Okay.
Stopwatch. Okay, you ready?
Yes. Hey guys, I got started in Herbalife just by going to a fit camp to help support my wife and her weight loss journey. I met all the people, fell in love with the products, listened to my coach, and doing that I lost 40 pounds. Now I teach 4 fit classes a week, and the only thing else I need is you to show up and come and join me on this journey. Thanks.
21 seconds. Powerful, because it got us engaged. Showed that you joined a fit camp. Awesome job. 40 pounds. Feel great. Come join our fit camp. Awesome job. Good job, John. You must have a really good coach. Okay, guys, who else? One other story. Y'all are all nervous now that you know I got my stopwatch going. Okay, let me start. Oh, go ahead.
Are you ready?
Okay, go for it, Aaron.
Okay. Hi, my name is AJ, aka Mr. GQ. I started Herbalife back in November, and ever since November, I've been leaner, more sexier, more handsome. And if you want to feel handsome and better about yourself, come Herbalife. Check out Herbalife and be a better you.
Okay, 13 seconds. So you got a good solid 15 seconds to throw something else in there. So how much weight did you lose?
34.
You lost 34 pounds?
Yes.
Did you say that?
Yes. No, I didn't. I was in a rush. I was kind of nervous.
Okay. So get it down. So 34 pounds. How much body fat did you lose?
I would say like 8% body fat.
Okay. Because so start over. We're going to refine you. Are you game to play so everybody can kind of learn?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm game to play.
And I totally know you're nervous because you're talking in front of, I'm not going to make you any more nervous, 89 people, okay? So, no pressure. So, hey, my name is Erin. I got started in November. I've lost 30 pounds or 40?
34.
Okay,
34.
I've lost 34 pounds and dropped 8% body fat. The best part is I'm feeling sexier than ever. And then throw in the call to action. Do you work out of a club, an office? How do you do your business?
I work out of a club with the Fearless Fitness team with CJ Morales and Damon.
Okay, so you can just say, I'd love to show you how to lose weight and become more sexy. Come see me. Like a little invite, right?
Okay.
Okay, so this is AJ, Sexy Man, take 2.
Hi, my name is AJ. Okay. Hi, my name is AJ.
Stop. I'm going to reset the clock. Take away your 2 seconds. You ready?
Ready.
Okay.
Hi, my name is AJ, aka Mr. GQ. I've been on the products ever since November, and since then I dropped 34 pounds and lost 8% body fat. And ever since then, I've been feeling more sexier, more handsome by myself. Good endorphins flowing through my head. And if you want to feel positive and feel great, come join me in the Fearless Fitness team and get in shape and get better every day.
Where do I join you?
Oh, 711 Apple Valley Drive, San
Okay.
Antonio, Texas.
So you're going to have like a card in your hand, okay?
Okay.
Now, for business purposes, are you ready for a little more refinement?
Absolutely.
Okay, you said it twice. I still have no clue what you're saying. You said, hi, my name's AJ, AKA blah, blah, blah. Because that's all I heard. So I'm a little like delayed in my hearing trying to figure out what you said there. And my brain's trying to catch up with your results because I'm distracted by the AKA. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so I know you're trying to be super cool, trying to be slick fly, all that, right?
Yeah, right.
So,
Okay.
hey, my name's AJ. I feel amazing, right? If you look at all the president's team members and chairman's club members, they're all going to be like crisp on their story, right? And I'm assuming with this type of business, you at least want to go to a next level. So,
Of course.
So know that I'm distracted by AKA and trying to figure out what you said, and I can't move on to your results because I'm still trying to figure this out. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes perfect sense.
Okay, so try it one more time.
Okay, no problem.
Hey, my name's AJ.
Okay. Hey, my name is AJ. I've started Herbalife ever since November, and ever since then I lost 34 pounds and I lost 8% body fat. And if you want to feel great and lose weight, come join me in the Fearless Fitness team at 711 Apple Valley Drive, and we'd love to see you there.
Perfect. And did you notice we only did this 3 times, and this is huge for the whole class. We only kind of refined it 3 times, but if you know that every word has impact and power for the good or bad, then you really want to dial it in and pretend you got that 30-second spot on the Super Bowl commercial that you paid $1 million for. Because every interaction is worth that with people, okay?
All right.
So I am going to unmute everybody and let them give a big old shout out and a hoopla for you because you allowed us to.
Way to go, Mr. GQ. What's up?
Okay, GQ, you got a lot of love right there. So letting us play with you. Thank you very much. Okay, so guys, I'm going to mute everybody out here. Mute you guys out. Move on to class number 2. So we're moving on to class number 2. So first off, let me flip over my notes here. Get rid of this. You guys did an awesome job. You can see how you definitely want to keep it refined so that you get the most of your opportunity when you are actually in front of somebody. Okay, so I'm going to take off share screen for right now. Okay, actually, we're going to share the screen. Okay, so let me go on to part 1 real quick for you guys. And I have all my notes here, so give me a second. I had to flip back over for our homework. So tonight, we want to log in to myherbalife.com. And I would say that one of the most scary things for brand new distributors is you have a customer, and now they want to order, and like you don't know what to charge them. You can't figure out the price, etc. So 2 things I want to share with you that are super helpful to have this at your fingertips, okay? First off is going to be a price list. Now you can actually download a price list. Let me see if I can get my, see if I can get my thing going here. You can actually download a price list, create a price list right on myherbalife.com. If you click on order product, and go over to price list generator and you click on it, there's several ways that you can generate a price list for your area, okay? So it just depends on, and I'm saying this because we have people dialing in from California. We have people from all over, although it's primarily a San Antonio group. But California has a sales tax. So if you sponsor a distributor and they're in California, just know that they have a sales tax. So how do I know what my sales tax is? Well, most people do know what it is. If you don't, you can call Herbalife and they can let you know. Okay? So you would put your sales tax in here. Let's just say we're in California and it's 8%. Okay, shipping and handling, let's do a combined 4%. My discount is at 50%. I'm going to move you guys up top so I can see the rest of my screen here. And the customer discount, let's just leave it 0. So we have the opportunity to only show the customer price list column. Now, why would we do that? Why would we not want to see what our discount is? Because if this is an active document that you're going to use in front of your customers, you don't want them to see the 2 different prices. If you're going to be like insecure, letting them see your price, then you can do check this where it only shows what the customers are charged, and then calculate. And it's going to refresh and tell you this is what we're going to charge on sales tax. And then here is your price list, guys. Okay? And this tells you exactly what to charge a customer in your area for the Formula One, etc., all the way down for all the products. You can download it as a PDF, print it, and put it in your pitch book or in your testimonial book. Okay, so you can create this for your local area. If you take this off and you want to see like what your discount is, and let's say we want to show a customer, if you guys signed up as a wholesale member, you would get it at a 25% discount. So let's see what that price list would look like. Okay, so it's just saying, hey, you're in California, you're getting ripped off for taxes. Here, confirm. Okay, so discount, retail, so your total retail price, your price is at 50%. Your customer's price at retail. So you guys can see it's going to break it down for you here. It's kind of hard to read on my screen, but it'll break all the columns out, all the prices, download, print, and put in your binder. Okay, that is one way to do it. The other way, and we talked about it today or last week briefly, but if you go to squareup.com and you create an account and you get the little square that goes into your phone, you actually can do upload the entire price list on Square. So if I were to bring up on Square in our local area and I wanted to create a order for a customer, I actually have, I'll see if you guys can see this, I actually have the entire inventory loaded here, and then I can create an invoice off of this and do all of my transactions on my phone. So this and the price list are the primary way that we use the ability to get a quick price, okay? The other thing that I wanted to show you, and this is pretty awesome if you do your business like you have a computer, you have an iPad, you have the ability to do this, you can actually create an invoice on myherbalife.com, and you can manage your whole customer base through myherbalife.com, entering your customer and an invoice every time here, and it'll give you the prices as well. Okay, so you can create a new invoice, and you guys, this is so super friendly. My objective is really to show you the tools that are available and then allow you to go on the back end and play with it and see if this is a way that you would like to track your business or not. Okay, so Herbalife does have a system here where you can browse the products, you can click on the products, you can tell it if you want a total with the shipping. All of this is kind of like the PDF that you can create. You can continue. This can track your entire business through myherbalife.com, customers, and then invoices. Okay, so that is super helpful if you are by computer or possibly even operating on an iPad. So first off, I think most of you on the call probably know this, but let me show you here because it's part of our tools and what we're going to go through also. If you're not familiar with how to order on myHerbalife, like if you guys just signed up a week before this class started, this might be helpful. You can go to order products on myherbalife.com, and you can order all these different ways. You can order by price list. You can order by SKU. So if you have a catalog, in the catalog, there's a SKU number beside each product. There's also a SKU number on the actual product itself. So if that's more helpful for you and you're used to flipping through the catalog, finding your products, then you might want to go by order by SKU, and then you could type all the SKU numbers in at one time and hit submit. You guys can see here. My computer will scroll down. You could enter all the SKU numbers and the quantities right here straight off the catalog, and then hit add to cart, and in one basic transaction you could upload your whole order. I like to order by price list, and I'll show you why. It's probably because I've been around for so long and it's just like my comfort zone. This is super helpful if you know the category that your product falls in. So core products are just going to be Formula 1, 2, and 3. Formula 2 is our multivitamin. Formula 3 is our cell activator. So those are just the core products. Then weight management, targeted nutrition, energy and fitness, you can break it down by category, and so then you could go like to weight management, and you can put in your whole order at once in terms of weight management. So it categorizes everything: quick start, advanced, ultimate, and then all the Formula 1s are broken down, Formula 2. So I could go through here and do my complete order, adding all the number of total of things that I want. Red means it's not available. It's on back order, or like unavailable for order, I should say. Green means it's available for order. Yellow means it's available for order, but it's on back order. So as soon as it releases, it'll ship to you. So here are the color coding and what they mean: available, unavailable, available for back order, and unavailable in your primary warehouse. So like in Texas, here in San Antonio, we're shipped out of Memphis, Tennessee. So if Memphis doesn't have it, it'll default and ship out of California. Okay, so just so that you know, you might get your whole order except for that item, and that item might ship out of the California area. Okay, so that's a basic of how you order. The first time that you do place an order within the company, you're actually going to set up your shipping address. You're going to set up your payment method, and then if you guys see, you can drop ship an order to a whole number, host number of different places. I was going to see if, yeah. So these are all the different people that I drop ship products to, just so you guys can see. So you can add an address in here at any time, and it will save it for you. So then if I know that I'm going to ship to Luann, who was one of my very first customers, Luann Coleman, then out of Oswego, New York, I click on here, I drop ship her order, and move on. So once you set those addresses up, they're in there as well. So that's basically how you order. Okay, something very helpful for you is in your business, if you are doing a lot of face-to-face business and you have the product on hand and you're giving them the product and they're giving you the money, then it's super helpful to get some promotional materials, the shaker cups, the tape measures, spoons, things like that for your clients. You can also drop ship those individually to each client. Like I could send one shaker cup to the client if I wanted. So there's some really uniquely packaged items for individual use. Okay, so basically there's like 3 ways that you can handle your business when it comes to retail. Because tonight we're talking mainly about retail, how to retail, what's the discount percentages, etc., how we do the wellness profile. So with that, there's basically 3 ways. You can purchase the product and then turn around and sell it to the customer. Okay, so that's one way. Now, believe it or not, when I started Herbalife, we actually had to buy cases of products. So we couldn't buy 1 can of Formula 1. I'll show my age here. We actually had to buy a case of 12. And you couldn't mix them. So when I started, we had to buy a case of vanilla, a case of chocolate, just to put things in perspective so you'll have a little more gratitude for the Herbalife you guys have today. So you can buy the products on hand, turn around and retail them to your clients face-to-face. That's one way to do it, okay? You can drop ship the order to your client, so you could take their money, turn around and ship the product from Herbalife, or you could have the member, or you could have your customer go on and purchase from your GoHerbalife.com site, which was your homework assignment from last week. Now, I have one gal who services about 90% of her clients on GoHerbalife.com. And it really has simplified her whole tax season this year, because she can go on and print a list of all the consumers that purchase product directly on there, and it shows her total. Okay, so if you in your business beginning develop the habit of getting your clients, sitting them down. Anna is amazing. She sits her clients down. She shows them how to log on to her website. She registers them as a consumer on her website. She helps them place their first order, walks them through that process. So she has to keep very little inventory on hand, if any. Mostly it's for her personal use. And then all of her customers are ordering online. And last month she did, I think, $12,000 in business. And the majority of that all went through her Go Herbalife site. So she doesn't handle a lot of product. It allows a lot more time and money flow for her, so that really all she's doing is coaching her clients, not doing a lot of transactions. So, and then another way, of course, is once they've eaten the product at retail the first time. And guys, I will say that you really want to retail your clients. The first order always wants to be retail. This is my opinion, but I'll tell you why I say that. Because when you start out in your business, you are out to build your business and make money, right? And when they purchase at retail, it shows their commitment level to the product, that if they're willing to take the product seriously at retail, how much more product will they take at a discount? Do not have the idea that if you discount your customer, that they will take the product more seriously or they will take more product. Retail out the gate every single time. Another reason is you not only need that profit, but your brand new members that you'll be signing up in the business need that business profit, okay? So those that take the products seriously, they're getting incredible results. They do what I tell them. They're not moaning and complaining and have all kinds of excuses. The higher maintenance the customer, the less opportunity they get for that wholesale program in my business. Like I want those independent product lovers to get that discount because I know they're going to really use it and order more product. So you can just take that for what it's worth, but that is how most successful people do it in Herbalife. So with that, the next thing is when you guys start your business, you're starting out at a 25% discount. Your objective is to get to the 50% discount. So the easiest way to make the most amount of profit right out the gate is the U+2 program. So you get your program and you get 2 or 3 other people on the products, and that immediate order can be a 500-point order, which puts you at a permanent 35% discount. So when you get started on the program, and a lot of our people, we use the 3-day trials, okay? So if we have time, I'm going to show you this document. If not, we'll do it next class. But if you get a 3-day trial, you get amazing results. You really should have 2 or 3 people along with you doing the program with you as a distributor. I guarantee you, if we polled all 88 or 89 of you guys, you all have a dieting buddy that you grew up dieting with in your circle at work, at school, and the friends that you hang with. All of you have that. You have someone that you have this conversation with, like, what diet are you trying? Those people should be on the Herbalife journey with you. When you do that, you can put yourself at the 35% discount quickly, okay? Then out of those 2 or 3 that join, one or, probably one of them is going to get incredible results. Get that one to have their buddies get on the program. So that's how you really advance yourself in the marketing plan, okay? So one of the other payment methods, we talked about SquareUp.com, but one of the other ones, of course, is ProPay, and it can link directly into your GoHerbalife.com site. With PayPal, you can actually send invoices and receive the money and then drop ship the product. So you have PayPal, ProPay, and Square are really 3 of the main transactions of accepting credit cards and payment processing that we use on an overall scale, I would say. Okay, so let me stop there before we go any further and just pause for a quick pulse on questions. If you have a question, unmute yourself on the screen here and then ask your question, because it'll be easier to take questions by sections here. Any questions, guys? I'm going to stop sharing. Nope. Okay, so let's go into Wellness Profile. So Wellness Profile, a couple of things. I asked you guys to bring book number 2 to the table, mostly because I will say it's a safe bet to assume that most distributors don't even open that little Ziploc plastic bag where these books are in, okay? So book number 2, the reason we really want to just spend a couple of minutes on this is an amazing, first off, this wheel, okay, I'm going to show you guys right here. We've all seen it in the catalog. in the center of the wheel is cellular nutrition. And the importance of that is you should start every customer on Formula 1, 2, and 3 as their base program. Anything in addition to that is going to be an accelerator and help them. So we don't start people on just total control, because that's not nutrition. Herbalife is about core nutrition. Cellular nutrition is what makes us so different, so unique, and because we feed the body at the cellular level, and everything else goes from there. So everybody starts on Formula 1, 2, and 3. That's why it's in the center of the wheel. From there, you can target what they may need in addition to 1, 2, and 3. So they might need stress management, digestive health, etc. Okay? This book number 2 can also be used as a presentation manual. But the reason I really wanted to highlight a couple of things is I think people sometimes don't know what to say about the products when they get started in the business. Whatever is in this manual is what I would tell you you'd want to say. So let me just give you an idea. Aminogen, okay? Aminogen helps break down and assimilate protein. So a lot of people, when they start the program, they're not used to this level of protein. Most women consume 25 to 30 grams if they're not supplementing. So when you take a woman that's doing 30 grams and then they go to 75, 80, 90 grams of protein a day, their body's not used to assimilating it, breaking it down, crunching it out, and putting it to work. The Aminogen helps do that, okay? So these couple of little bullet point descriptions are all you need to know to relate to a customer of why they need the product, okay? Let's take another one. Protein bar. It's a great tasting nutritional snack bar, okay? Really? That's all you need to say. Total control. It boosts your metabolism, builds energy and alertness. It's amazing appetite control, right? Thermobond. It really provides a feeling of satiety, okay? That's a big word for meaning fullness. So satiety means full. So if you don't know enough about the products, I would highly recommend that you get out book number 2 and read through. And if you don't feel comfortable using this big book, take the words out of here and translate them to a catalog so that you have a little catalog that you can keep with you as you're flipping through with your customers. And then don't give them your catalog, because that'll be a lot of work rewriting in it. But circle, highlight, mark up a catalog until you can rattle off these things. And when you've done enough retail, you'll be able to rattle off, you know, why the products are what they are. And be able to explain them. So book number 2 really does a fabulous job of teaching you retail. All you need to know about the products to retail them. I will say this, the more you know about the products in the beginning, the worse your retail happens to be. Because what happens is in the very beginning, all you know is that Aminogen helps break down protein and you get greater results, right? And so you tell your customers that. And then when you start talking about Cell Activator, in the beginning when you're a distributor, you're like, oh, Cell Activator helps all your products work better and helps your body absorb the nutrition. They're like, oh, okay, yeah, sounds like I need that. But then the more you start to know, you've been to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trainings, then you've heard, oh, the villi, it helps absorb the villi, and the villi are what take the nutrition to the cellular level, and you start getting really complicated, your customers and your retail will go down. So keep it very simple. Only say what's in this retail book, because this is what, number 1, was approved and authorized to say, but also what you want to say so that your customers get the message, okay? So let's talk about Lean Protein Estimator. Well, first off, this and your pitch book from Herbalife should be with you at all times, because it's a way for you to share the message of Herbalife, where you do keep it simple and visual. Some people are more visual. They may not be able to listen to you, but they can look at this and take their focus to a visual level instead of an audio level, okay? So let's look at the Lean Protein Estimator. So a lot of you guys may have a machine. You may have like an Omron where you're holding it in your hands. You may have a Tanita that you stand on and 4-point connection. So what that is that is calculated in a calculator in those machines based on the numbers that we put in there with the pulse that it's given. So the calculations can be done with this slide rule, and this is about 90% accurate up against a $500 machine that gives you the numbers. So I just want you guys to have the full confidence that this little tool that Herbalife gives us that fits in most of our purses, backpack, or in our glove box in the car is of huge value. And again, the tool is only to validate the message. So don't get hung up on the tool. You need to understand the message, and then you'll know how the tool fits into the message. So let's use the lean protein estimator. If you guys have it handy, follow along. If not, just understand how simple it is. So in number one, let's say we're dealing with a person that is 5'6" tall, okay? So you would set number one to 5'6" tall. Number two, you don't move the slide rule anymore, okay? 5'2" or 5'6" is set in window number one. Window number two, we're actually gonna look and find their weight in the middle. So you find their weight, and let's just for simplicity's sake, let's say they weigh 180 pounds, okay? So they're 5'6", they weigh 180 pounds, and we look up and we get their body mass index, okay? Because in America we use pounds. If you're using a scale in kilos, then you would look in the lower slide. So in pounds, we look up and the person weighs 180 pounds. Their BMI, their body mass index, is 29. So now on window number three, we actually move the slide rule to fit and we mark it at 29. So window number one, we set the height, we get the BMI in number two, and we slide rule the BMI into window number three. Now, let's say we're dealing with a female. We said she was 5'6". We're going to look in the 5'5" to 5'8" range, and her protein factor is 123. So I give them a range. I would say like 120 to 130 when I'm writing down their protein factor. But knowing that 123 is what the slide rule gives us, when we flip it over and go to number 5, we're actually going to put her in the range, okay? So there's protein ranges here. And you've got to find the range that 123 fits in. So in window number 5, that fits in 100 to 124, okay? Now, a lot of you guys may be wondering what the B is for. It says Meal Plan B, okay? Meal Plan B, we used to use it a lot, but we don't really promote it a lot anymore. But there was an A, B, C, D meal plan. And A was 2 shakes, 1 meal. B is 2 shakes, 1 snack, 1 meal. C is 2 shakes, 2 snacks, 1 meal. So the higher their protein range, the additional snack they were allowed to have, okay? So then basically if we enter their protein range on the bottom at 1, let's see, we said 101 to 110, then it would give you your calorie restriction. Basically that's their resting metabolic rate. How many calories their body burns at a daily basis doing what they do. So practice with it a couple times. You can see that it's pretty simple to use. The explanations are on here, so to actually tell you how to use it right there on the lean protein estimator. It's not difficult. Play with yours, play with a couple of people. Here is the purpose of the tools, whether it's the lean protein estimator, whether it's the Tanita, whatever tool you're using. Here's the purpose of the tools, guys, is to validate 2 shakes, 1 meal, healthy protein snack, healthy colorful plate on a meal, okay? So the tool is only a tool to validate 2 shakes, 1 meal, healthy snack, healthy colorful plate. My whole meal plan is no white, no fried to get people started, okay? The more difficult you make it, if you start having them count carbs and sugars and calculate this and calculate that, number 1, you're making it difficult for your client. Number 2, you're making it very non-duplicatable. Remember, our business is of duplication. We're here to help people learn how to help people with the Herbalife products, not how to be meal planners. So our meal plan is 2 shakes, healthy snack, colorful plate, no white, no fried. That's the Herbalife meal plan. If you do that, you will be duplicatable. And I'm telling you from experience, in 17 years, I've seen people way overcomplicate it. They want to seem like the expert, so they do seem like the expert, and then nobody can duplicate them, and then they get burnt out because nobody can get them results like they can. It's all about them. So make it all about the products, not about you, There's nothing special about your ability with the products. It's the products that do the work. Then you are not responsible for that client's results. The products are. Okay, so I just gave you guys like $1 million secret right there. So hopefully you guys were writing that note down. So let's move on to talking about, now we've got a customer on the products, or we're actually in the process of getting people on the products. There's going to come a couple of things come up. First off, you might, during the retail process, you might deal with objections. Okay, so when you're talking about objections, just remember the golden rule. Always leave them feeling good about themselves, about Herbalife, and about you as a coach, okay? So if anybody brings up any objection, just know that it never pays to argue. And the reason that we have the facts is because if you start talking opinions, an opinion always starts with what I think or I feel, okay? So anytime someone says, well, I think, then you know that it's an opinion. So that needs to be like an opinion alert for you. When they say that, you need to think of the counter fact that would really help kind of nullify the opinion battle. So the way that you handle that is going to be crucial to whether it shuts down or continues. So write down the words feel, felt, found, okay? A lot of times people just need to be validated that they hear you, that you hear them. Hold on, I'm going to mute you guys. Somebody unmuted there. Okay, so if somebody says, oh, well, there's no way I can do 2 shakes. I have to eat my food. I have to be able to chew, you know. Then you can say, well, you know, I know how you feel. I mean, I felt that way when I got started. In fact, like I needed to eat breakfast so bad, I was eating chocolate chip cookies and milk for breakfast. You know, no wonder I was fat and had no energy. And that's a true story, guys. That's my story. So number one, they start laughing at me, and I'm like, but what I found is that when I did the shake, number one, I no longer had those sugar cravings, and my energy was unbelievable. I don't know about you, but my previous life, man, I had to take a nap every single day. As soon as I laid the baby down, I was down for a nap, and I never felt good. I got up, I was still tired, you know? So they're like, yeah, well, the reason you'd really want to switch the habit is because you're going to feel amazing, you know? So what do you do for breakfast? So you can work them through that feel, felt, found. If you can identify with them on some level, and it needs to be sincere. Like, you can't identify with everybody, okay? I mean, you can't claim to have everything, but you can find a part of their story that you could identify and let them know that, hey, that makes sense, man. That's where I was at, okay? But here's what I found when I changed a few habits. And now I feel so amazing, I can't even imagine, like, drinking Diet Coke. That's one of the biggest things. People say, well, I can't drink all that water. Well, you can. I mean, in fact, I actually drank Diet Coke all day long as a restaurant manager. So always go back to the mega dosage law and the labeling law, okay? The mega dosage law says if there were actually too much of anything in the product, it could not be sold. We follow the FDA guidelines, which is Food and Drug Administration. They don't regulate. We follow the guidelines of that, which we have to be classified as a food. We're not a drug. So they don't regulate the industry. They have guidelines that we have to follow. So with that, the mega dosage law is one of them that we follow. If there's too much of anything in the product, it wouldn't even be on the shelf. It's against the law for us to do that. Number two is the labeling law, which says if anybody cannot take it, it has to be on the label. Okay, so for example, Total Control, it says women who are pregnant should not take this product or consult their physician. Why? Because it controls your appetite. Your baby's screaming, I need food, right? So you don't want to, you know, not feed the growing baby. So that makes sense. So, and there's different levels of, there's a notice, a warning, and the lowest level, like a suggestion or nothing even on there. So the most we have is a notice, okay? Your story is a fact. other people's story are facts. So people can't argue with the facts. So if they said, oh, well, you know, my friend tried Herbalife and yeah, she didn't lose any weight with it. Well, I'm not sure what your friend did with the product. I mean, like, you can have a Ferrari and still crash it because you don't know how to drive it, right? So what I know is, like, I've been taking the product for 17 years and I've seen some amazing results. So I'm really confident that I can help you get the results if you're committed. So you guys kind of have to understand to hear what they're saying and then translate that in a way that it still leaves them feeling good about them, you, and Herbalife, okay? So when you talk to the client about the products, here is, I alluded with the tool into the presentation of 2 shakes, 1 meal. The sum total of what I give people is I give them their protein number and their calorie restriction, okay? Remember, if you keep it simple, it's a plan they can follow. So this gives them a protein number and a resting metabolic rate, which if they need to lose weight, you take 500 calories off of their resting metabolic rate. So if this says on the back, if this says their resting metabolic rate was 2,000 to 2,200, then I would subtract 500 of that, and I would say their calorie restriction is 1,500 calories a day, okay? So, but their protein needs are 100 grams of protein. So, Mary, here's why the program works so well. You need 100 grams of protein a day, and you have 1,500 calories to spend. So your shakes are going to give you about 20 to 25 grams of protein. We can customize them. You could go 25 grams of protein. It's only going to cost you, let's say you put a little piece of strawberry and banana. Let's say your shakes average 250 calories because you put a few little pieces of fruit in there. So you're spending 250 calories for 25 grams of protein. So what I get them to do is I get them to look at it as a game. Look, here's the game. You have this many calories to spend on a daily basis, and you need this much protein. So anytime you're eating, you need to think about, what am I getting for what am I spending, okay? I also have them keep a food log. If you bite it, you write it. That's what I tell my clients. If you bite it, you write it. For 3 days straight, I want you to keep a food log, and I want you to bring the food log in, because some of you guys on the customer side, some of the customers are like unconscious eaters. Like, they don't even realize they pick food up throughout the day and eat. They may be a stress eater. They may be, you know, a boredom eater. They may be a TV watcher eater. So when you have them bite it and write it, it brings awareness to their day. They also need to write down the water that they drink, okay? When they come in for their follow-up, have them bring their log. That in itself will turn the success of your client. Then their food meal, have them write what they ate for their food meal, okay? It needs to be colorful. Their plate needs to be colorful. That's what I tell them. That is my retail spiel. That's how I retail products, guys, is I tell them, this is your protein, this is your calorie restriction, this is why the two work so well together. And it's not just about protein. This is really key. I tell them it's not about protein. It's about the nutrition inside of that shake, that it would take probably, you know, 2 or 3 times the calories to get out of food, not even matching the nutrition. So, and in our club, we have this poster that has that picture of the shake mix and the egg and the broccoli and all the things that they get in the value of nutrition out of food in that one shake. And I'm like, this is everything that you get in a shake, and that's all the food that you would have to eat in order to get that in this one 200-calorie shake. So then that makes sense to them, okay? So they're swapping a shake for a bunch of calories. They're going to feel amazing. And that's why, guys, the 3-day trial pack is so awesome, because they get to try that on before they go for a quick start. Then when you follow up with them, what I always tell people to do is when they follow up with clients, I would follow up with a brand new client the first 3 days, every single day, even if it's just by text. Even if you text them and say, hey, how's it going? How'd you mix your shake last night? You will be amazed at how many people will follow up and tell you more in an email or in a text versus phone, okay? People don't want to tell you on the phone that they're constipated or that they're feeling nauseous or that they're hungry, but they will open up an email and text. So just ask them. You can ask them, you know, with a little smiley face or something. So how's the bowels? And throw a little smiley face in there. You would be amazed at how more open and humorous they'll be on that method of follow-up. Also, if you follow up with them every day for the first 3 days, so you can get them back to weigh them in for that 3-day result, if you do that, you set up a relationship and a bond. You set up an expectation on you wanting their results and then them needing to report into you. And then what happens is the more clients you get, and occasionally if you drop the ball or you missed them that week or they were out of town, then you have that core relationship that you built in the very beginning with that client, and now they're a lot more forgiving. If you just sell them the program and then you check in with them weekly, that's very, very minimal follow-up, and they're going to be really quick to dismiss you because they don't have that bond in that relationship. So invest in everybody the first 3-4 days and get them back to weigh in and measure, and then you can kind of put them out on a, now I'm going to check in with you every other day, and then I'll check in with you weekly. I know the career manual says day 1, 3, and 7. Personally, I found a lot more success doing day 1, 2, and 3, and then weighing them in and checking in with them on day 5, and then having them back in the club on day 7. And now we've got that relationship. They're in the mojo, and they're getting great results. I don't want to wait till day 3 to find out that day 1 they got nauseous because they took their vitamins before their shake, okay? I don't want to wait. I want to find that out on day 2. It's also very important that you guys as distributors know that we have a 30-day money-back guarantee on the products. So how that works is Herbalife actually will replace the product to me. So if I have a customer return the product, they fill out this form, which you get on myherbalife.com under documents and policies. It's a refund order. They have to sign the reason they refunded it, okay? You send that with the empty containers to Herbalife, and they will ship you a replacement set of products. So I actually am never out of any money as a distributor. I might have lost what I thought was profit on that order, but in reality, I didn't lose any money because I get the product back. So that in itself is amazing on Herbalife's part. I will say that since I started nutrition clubs, I have had maybe 5 refunds since 2005. Our refund, when we get to meet them face to face and we do that follow-up that I just talked to you guys about, they're almost nothing in terms of what they used to be, okay? So make sure that you get that customer care impeccable and that you service the clients if you're going to take them on. Because, again, I can't tell you how many people have looked me up in the yellow pages and say, look, I can't ever get a hold of my distributor. She said she's going to order products. She never ordered the products. I've already given her my money. And I'm like trying to diffuse them and tell them and then how they can do. And then it's a nightmare, guys. So you're in business. Not only are you representing yourself, but you're representing Herbalife and you're representing all 90 people that are on this call and everybody in the company. So just make sure you're doing yourself the due diligence of that work. So the last thing with customer follow-up is make sure that you have some sort of system, and I'm going to give you a few ideas, but some sort of system to set yourself up for success for a lot of clients, because you're going to get a lot of clients if you do this right, okay? So Herbalife has this card file box. I don't use it because I have way too many, but in the beginning it works really well. A through Z card file box, you can fill out the customer's name, put them in this box, and you can carry this box around and you can follow up with them. I like the 1 through 31 and the A through Z method on a 3-ring binder. And here's why. So you got to get that 1 through 31 tabs. If you got a kid in school, you know what those dividers look like. Well, you can get them that are 1 through 31, and that represents the day of the month. So today is the 12th, okay? So I get a new customer, and I got a new customer today, and I followed up with them, and I did a profile sheet on them. And I tell her, look, Mary, I'm going to contact you tomorrow, so I will give you a call tomorrow. So I'm going to put her slip of paper behind number 13 because tomorrow's the 13th. So if I have a client that I followed up with today and she's only a weekly customer at this point that I need to follow up with, I'm going to look at my calendar real quick. I'm going to put her in next Thursday, right? So I would slip her behind the 19th. So every single day, and maybe you only do follow-up on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, right? So you get a system that works for you, but every single day you block off a chunk of time for customer follow-up, and maybe that's 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes in the evening, so you got 2 time frames to catch them. And then you open up your binder, right? You flip it to the 12th, and you start looking at the sheets that are here. If you can't get a hold of them, you leave them a message. Hey, Mary, I hope all is well. Feel free to give me a call tonight between 6:30 and 7. That's when I'll be in the office available for follow-up. I'd love to hear from you. If I don't hear from you today, I will check in once more with you tomorrow, okay? When you start setting the expectation like that, and you let them know, look, I'm in the office from 9 to 10 for follow-up. Can you call me at 9? This is a real good indicator of who can go on your membership program, who will be your distributors. When you ask them to call you and these clients are actually calling you, ding, 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 like here's a player, okay? Every assignment that you give your clients and they follow through with, you should have this little bell going off in your head like, oh my gosh, here's a player, here's a player. If you're having to drag, chase, and beg your clients to follow the program, that is not a player. That's like somebody, they're going to fall in that 1 to 3, and you really need to stick with your end of the deal, but also just recognize that they're not somebody that I'm going to offer a wholesale program to, because that's not going to make them more committed to their shake canister, right? I'm going to look for the signs and signals of those that are actually doing the program. So let me look over for homework. So homework. And then we'll open it up for questions if you guys have any questions. So for your homework, what you want to do is you want to figure out what you want to do for a customer follow-up system, okay? If you want to use the card file box, or if you want to do the 3-ring binder, okay? Figure out the system for you. Get your senior consultant order if you already are not at that level, because you're going to need 2 to 3 programs on hand of what you're on, okay? Make sure, a lot of you probably already do because I kind of alluded to it last week, set up your payment system. How are you going to do it? Are you going to do Square? Are you going to do ProPay? Are you going to do PayPal? Figure out your payment system, your credit card payment system. Role play with your coach on objections. Just like I role played today with the story, okay, with AJ, role play on with your mentor a couple of objections so that you get used to how that feels and languaging. I will tell you, you got to speak it to get used to it. So that's why we want you to role play some scenarios, okay? And then also there's a couple of videos that I want you guys to watch, and I'm actually I'll give you the numbers now in case you're just really proactive. You'll get the email tonight at 11 o'clock with the homework, but a couple of the videos, there's actually 3 this time, 00302, and you guys remember you're going to HBN on myherbalife.com, or you can go to video.herbalife.com. So the numbers are 00302, 00303, and 00312. And all of these have to do with retail and follow-up, okay? So get your payment system in place, get your follow-up system in place. Oh, I did mention this one. Figure out your price list system. How are you going to know what the price of the products are? Are you going to go on the price list generator and print a copy for your area? I would totally recommend that, especially if you're in a nutrition club. We have one at our clubs that we can go to and refer to in case the computers crash. Like, I have a memory, and I think I can remember the Formula One, but I don't store a lot of useless information like that up there. It gets really crowded up here. So have paper, have a print copy that you can always have on you in case the computer system thing goes down. So tonight I will send out an email with the homework, okay? Remember, join the Facebook page, get your coach to validate your homework, get your homework done and turned in, and then if you are not receiving the emails, email me. Again, it's Tina White at satx.rr.com and say, hey, check my email. I'm not getting any communication from the system. So let's open it up for, a couple of minutes. Does anybody have a question about any of the topic that we covered tonight? You're going to have to unmute your line, and then we'll leave everyone else muted so we can actually hear you guys.
You were talking earlier about keeping it simple when you're doing your sales.
Yes.
But I'm getting a lot of questions about the level now and how easy it is to do a shake and a patch and forget all the rest of the stuff we're trying to push. Do you have any advice for that?
Okay, I'm sorry. Repeat the question because you're kind of cutting out. And is this Christy?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you have a really, really low bandwidth on your internet connection. I can see it here. So try it again.
You were saying keep it simple and repeatable when you're giving people their 2 shakes and their food and snack idea. But now with this new level, the patch that's come out lately, there's been a lot of questions about that, and I don't know much about that product. But how can we explain that this is simple and it works when you're not just doing a patch and a shake?
Okay, so this is really good because I have no idea what you're talking about with a patch. So I don't know what you're talking about with the patch. I've not heard it. I've not gotten those objections. So it's not like circulating in my circle. So if it were
in Pleasanton, it's big. Everybody is in Pleasanton, just south of San Antonio. It's really big. Everybody's switching to this patch and a shake. The level, I think it's what it's called.
Okay, so this is what I would tell them, and this is good because in the industry over 17 years, I can't tell you how many times I've seen the latest, greatest craze, and people get all wrapped up in it. It could be the shots where people are taking the shots and taking 500 calories a day. There's all kinds of crazy stuff. There will be today. There will be forever in this industry because obesity is such an attractive money market, okay? So the standard answer is, I honestly don't know like what the patch is. If you're my client, Christy, I would say, look, I don't know about that. What I do know is your body needs a certain amount of everything on a daily basis. Let's look at a triangle. And have you ever noticed the food pyramid? Like the government actually made a food pyramid. Let's just think that this is how I explain it all the time on different crazy diets. This is the food pyramid. Let's just say your child is playing with blocks and they build a little pyramid. What would happen, Christy, if your child yanked one of the staple blocks out of the bottom? What would happen to this whole little statue? What would happen to the block statue?
It would fall.
Huh?
It would fall.
It would crumble. It would fall, right? And I make the customer answer that. So what would happen if you, so basically, I'm assuming this patch is supposed to kill their appetite, so they only eat 1 shake a day, right? So that's the only thing I can imagine. So when you start yanking from what your body needs on a daily basis, it's going to crumble. You're either going to get headaches, you're going to lose your hair, you're going to lose muscle, which is what determines your metabolism, right? So the reason I'm going to stick to 2 shakes and 1 meal for weight loss is I know for certainty it's going to give your body everything that it needs on a daily basis. We're not about taking from your body, hun. Christy, I want your body to have everything it needs on a daily basis, and that's why I want you on 2 shakes and 1 meal. I don't want to take from what your needs are. I want to give you everything it needs, and that's why it works so well. So,
Thank you.
Yeah. So, and again, that was pretty simple. Blocks, building blocks, pulling it out. And then if they're like, oh, well, no, then here's how I would end it. I totally understand like where you're at, Chrissy. Like I've been there. Just know that I'm here for you when that's not going to meet your needs, or if that turns out to not be working for you. I want you to know that I'm always going to be here to help you. Okay. One of my best friends did the shots. She is a diet fanatic. She tries everything. She jumps 1 ship before her foot's off another. She's still overweight. She always comes back. But here's the thing. She's still 100 pounds overweight. She came back. She's on 2 shakes now. But as soon as she hears about the patch, she's going to be one of those that go try the patch for a month. She always comes back because I have that love for her. So when you're just like exuding that, oh my God, I hate to see you try this. Oh, I love you so much. I don't want you to Okay, if you go over and it's not for you, I want you to know that I'm still going to love you and bring you back. If you kind of give them that, they're going to come back when it fails. And it might be a week, it might be a month. They'll always come back. Does that make sense? Is it okay?
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions, guys?
I have a question, Tina.
Yes.
$1 million question. Women say, I'm pregnant. Is it safe to use Herbalife? What do you shout out?
I would tell them your job is to feed your body perfect nutrition for 9 months because you're creating another body, right? I'm like, yeah, well, this is perfect nutrition. So we follow the labeling law. If it's not something that you could take, it would have to be on this canister of shake mix.
Okay.
The multivitamin is equivalent to a prenatal. Take it to your doctor, okay? Now, a lot of times it's the first time pregnant moms that are going to give you that, right? Because you examine everything. Like you quit washing your hair because you think the chemicals in the shampoo are going to affect the fetus, you know? The second and third pregnancy, you're eating the shampoo. So just realize, guys, when you're dealing with those pregnant women, it's usually the first time pregnant women. And then the other thing is the stories. You got to go build and that's why the STSs are crucial, guys. Build your plethora of stories. My twin sister took her products her entire pregnancy of her third pregnancy. Her baby was 3.5 weeks early. He was a preemie. The poor thing barely made it because he only weighed 9 pounds. And by this time they're cracked, which is true. Her baby weighed 9 pounds, 3.5 weeks early. And she put on 67 pounds on purpose. This was her third child. She'd been in Herbalife for a while. Her first weight loss was 15 pounds. And she's like, I am going for the story. She packed on 67 pounds and peeled it all off and was no longer in maternity clothes 2 months after the baby was born. So she shed her weight. So not only are you creating the healthiest baby possible, but you've got to maintain your nutrition while you're feeding it. Okay. So if they're still hesitant, this is what you tell them. Have you ever seen the woman who's pregnant and then has the baby and loses the weight like that and they never look like they were ever pregnant? They had proper nutrition. The baby will take, by nature, by design, the baby will take what it needs from the mother. So you have exactly what the baby needs. Now, if you're not going to replenish that on a daily basis, you're going to pop out a perfect little human being and your system's going to be trashed. Okay? So that's how I explain it to them. And then I just give them story after story. You know, my sister did this. We can see you drinking your wine too, by the way.
Sorry.
I'm assuming I'm going to call you out on that because that is not
But I have my pen now.
yeah, not a good combo. Okay, any other questions, guys? Good question, Charlie Sue.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I got a question, Tina.
Yes, sir. How do you say your name? That's my question.
It's Saxit Bucksoon-Torn.
That is so cool. That's much cooler than Tina White. Okay, go ahead.
You go ahead and call me B.
All right, what's up, B?
So I got a question about the sales and use tax.
Okay.
So if we're charging our customers, let's say the San Antonio rate is 8.25%, are we required to report that with the comptroller?
Okay. So number one, disclaimer, I'm not an accountant. I'm a blonde. So now that the disclaimer is over, Christy's laughing. Christy must be an accountant. Okay. So our sales tax in San Antonio is 8.25, but not on food. We are not charged a sales tax on food. Okay. So in the state of Texas, we actually are no food tax, but anything you put on the outside of our body is charged tax. So the 8.25% is charged on the skin products, right? Hair, anything on the outside is charged tax. You with me so far?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So when we charge our customers tax, it's only a reimbursement to us. We actually pay Herbalife the sales tax on the products, and they handle that on the sales tax end. So when we charge sales tax for shampoo, it's a reimbursement to me because I paid the tax. I'm not the actual collector of the tax, and reporting it. What we deal with in Herbalife is our income tax. Herbalife takes care of the sales tax in all the different states. Does that make sense?
All right. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Understood.
Any further
Thank you.
questions? Go to Hewitt or one of those tax people. Any other questions, guys? Christy, you got to be an accountant. You are laughing it up. Okay, any other questions, guys? We're 10:11 Central Standard Time, so thank God for eye cream. Okay, so I'm going to unmute you guys. You guys can all say, logging off. Good night, everybody. Say your name and what city you're calling from. Hold on. Let me unmute everybody. Okay. Good night, everybody.
Logging off.
Everyone. Live. Good night. Sorry.
Bye.
I read everything down.